for joining us for the Sum 180 weekly webcast, where we talk about real people's issues with their money and answer your questions. Tonight's issue is the recent challenges in the rental housing market and what you should do in your financial planning in response. First, more than a third of the households in America today are spending more than half of their income on rent, according to a recent report by Harvard University on housing. This is a significant issue because that does not leave enough left over for the other things that you need to be doing for your financial health, like saving for an emergency fund, like maxing out your retirement, and other kinds of savings. It'd be tempting to think that this is just those post-grad millennials who are in the big cities and finding absolutely nothing affordable to rent. But according to the housing report from Harvard, it's a lot more widespread than that. 40% of the renters out there today are between the ages of 30 and 49, and that's a shift. The average age of a first-time home buyer is 33 years old, and that's not changed a lot over the decades, but what has changed is that people used to rent for about 2.5 years before buying, and now they rent for as much as 6 years before buying. There are a lot of factors in that: flatter incomes, tighter mortgage policies, etc. So what should you do? Well, plan to own a home. First of all, across the nation today, renting is actually 38% more expensive than owning a home. And also, as we discussed last week, owning a home is the #1 wealth building asset for most of us. Think about it. When you're first starting out, your home might be as much as 80% of your total assets. And over time, as you save, you're going to work it down to, say, 40%, and even bring it down as far as 20% in your retirement. So save for your down payment, 20%, or maybe even a little bit more, and go ahead and buy a home, the value of which is no more than 2.5 times your income, which is going to leave you enough left over to do other kinds of important savings. If you're going to continue to rent, make sure that your rent is no more than 30% of your income, again, giving you enough left over for other kinds of important savings. We have a great question tonight from Darren, who's 31 years old and lives in the Bay Area. It's a simple but important question. Do I need renter's insurance? And Darren, that's a definitive yes. First of all, it limits your liability if you start a fire in your unit. And secondly, you don't need to buy a lot, but you then wouldn't be starting from zero if your belongings were destroyed or ruined. If you buy a combined rental and car insurance package, oftentimes it's not much more expensive than just car insurance alone. So essentially, for the price of a pizza every month, you're covered. That's it for tonight. Thanks for joining, and keep those comments and questions coming. Because here at Sum 180, we love making dealing with your money simple and doable.